Hi, this is my little private yoga studio here in Cusco, and today I want to talk about yoga. I believe that yoga is actually a controversial topic because nowadays there's so many different yoga styles, so many different systems, trademarks, franchises, and they all claim to be disciplines that go back thousands of years, back to ancient India, ancient Vedic texts. And this is, in some cases, in some way, it's true. And I don't want you to get me wrong. I love physical postural yoga. I think it's a great exercise for the body, a great stretch for the body, and a great way to actually access that true meditational yoga that's behind all these disciplines. But actually, nowadays everybody becomes yoga teacher, yoga master. I don't know how they can call themselves yoga masters, but anybody can become a yoga teacher. It's very easy. You take a 200-hour training, you pay about $2,000, and then that's it. You can call yourself a yoga instructor. And these trainings are very short, and normally most people that take these trainings, they have to believe blindly what their teacher tells them. So every time I see somebody that says they practice yoga, the question is always, what type of yoga do you practice? So then the answer would be Ashtanga, Vinyasa, Kundalini, Yin Yoga, Anusara. There's so many different types of yoga, all trademarks, and most of them would say that their yoga it's a pure lineage that goes back thousands of years. And this is just marketing, actually, because if you go back thousands of years and you start to read the manuals, the yoga scriptures, all these Vedic texts, the Upanishads, Itihasas, the Yoga Sutras, the Bhagavad Gita, Ramayana, they all talk about yoga. But they don't mention any postures. They don't talk about postural yoga. This is something modern. This is something tantric, actually. It's not Vedic. But anyways, I don't want to criticize, and I don't want you to get me wrong, because I don't think it's bad to practice yoga. I just think that lots of people do it from an egocentric way. So it's like saying, oh yes, my yoga style goes back to the Yoga Sutras, and I learned the second Yoga Sutra, Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha, which means yoga is the restraint of the fluctuations of the mind. But it doesn't mean that, actually. It's much deeper than that. There's actually, these Vedic words have a different meaning than what they have in our modern languages. In order to understand, it's easy to say, yes, yoga is a practice of the mind, of controlling the mind. But if you really want to say that you practice yoga in this old lineage, millennium lineage, then you have to understand what chitta means in Vedic, what vrittis mean, what nirodha means. It's not just the control of the movements, fluctuations of the mind. It's much deeper than that. But yes, yoga is actually that. It's a meditational practice. It's a mind practice. It doesn't matter how well you perform these postures. It's more about how you can learn to understand how your mind plays tricks on you, how your mind is painting this whole world, this universe around you that you believe, and that's actually not true. How to understand that yourself goes deeper than this mind and body. It's a cliche to say yoga is union of the mind, of the soul and God, or it's a universal spirit. That's a cliche. That's not exactly. If you really want to understand, you have to read the Yoga Sutras, you have to read the Pradipika, you have to read all these ancient books. Not just say that you've memorized the 8 limbs of Ashtanga, because everybody can memorize the 8 limbs of Ashtanga now. It's much deeper than that. So I don't wanna sound like I know better than anybody. I don't know better than anybody. I'm just the same as you. I'm just a practitioner that's trying to get deep into my yoga practice. But I want to make it clear that asanas, postural practice, it's not real yoga. If you go back thousands of years, you would read about bhakti yoga, karma yoga, jnana yoga. They never mention postures. It's just lifestyles. It's devotional love. It's the way you perform your actions, the way you study yourself through the studying of the scriptures. Or you go back to the Yoga Sutras, it's just meditation, no postures described. So what my idea here is to actually make you think about this. You know, if performing best postures, if standing on one hand would be the ultimate goal of yoga, if that would get you illuminated or transcend, then this Russian circus acrobats or Russian ballet dancers, they would be the perfect yogis and yoginis. So think about it. I wanna know what you think about this. I wanna know your what your experience is with this, what you think yoga is, how this should be practiced. Because if you're sitting on a yoga class, on a vinyasa class, and you're concerned about how good you're performing the postures, if you're thinking about that people are looking at you because you're not doing it right, or if you're looking at the teacher because she's beautiful, or you're looking at your fellow students and thinking that you want to perform the postures like they're doing, then you're not practicing yoga. You're just mind-centered, ego-centered. But you could be riding a bike, surfing, climbing, walking, sitting on a bus, and you could be going internally, meditating, watching your mind, understanding how it's working without reacting. Then you would be practicing yoga, even if you're not practicing postures. So yes, I believe postural yoga is a way where you can actually get deep into a meditational practice. But if your mind is the whole time scattering and you have ideas, then you're not getting there. So please tell me what you think about this and have a great practice.